kid. Get in the pit.
Dez, we're at the Crazy Donkey in Farmingdale, Long Island.
Yeah.
You're going to hit the stage in a couple of hours for Devildriver show.
Yeah.
What do you do to get pumped up before the first show?
Hanging out, man. Have a couple drinks. You know what I mean? And just hang out with friends, man. Turn up music. The place is kind of quiet right now. About a half hour from now, this bus will be lit up.
What kind of music do you listen to before a show?
Everything. You know, from metal to blues. But music is going constantly back here.
Now, you guys have played, you've done Ozfest, I think, right? You've done...
many times.
You've done the Download Festival, you've done all the European festivals.
Yeah.
You actually tried to set a record for mosh pits, for circle pits, right? Do you like the big venues, or do you like these smaller, intimate venues like we're going to be at tonight?
I like it all, man. Anywhere there's a bottle of wine and a microphone, I'm good to go. You know? But the little clubs like this, you know, that hold 800 or whatever, you can really you can feel the vibe. So you kind of need that to make the bigger shows happen.
So you think there's more energy back and forth in a smaller...
Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, when you have 80,000 people, there's a lot of energy too, right? It just really depends on the show and where you're going. But up here, this is going to be a great show tonight, I'll tell you that, that's for sure.
Now, I saw you were recently featured in High Times magazine.
Yeah.
Would you call yourself a stoner?
For medical purposes. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I only sleep a few hours a night, and I have a lot of stress in my life. So, and a lot of back pain, actually.
Well, I just recently read an interview with Phil Anselmo, who says the same thing. He says, you know, I'm not going to lie. I'm not, you know, he enjoys it, but he also says for his back, for his muscle.
Oh, absolutely. You know, absolutely. I mean, you know, recreational, it gets old, you know, just being stoned to be stoned. But if you have back pain or something, it works. And I don't back the billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies shoving all these meds down people's throat. You know, when it could be done medicinally and done by nature.
Never sorrow rises souls, and your conscience isn't free. In the dark days of summer, on the night of September, was made for you.
So I've been listening to Pray for Villains all week, actually, and you have a song on there, I've Been Sober. 13 days and 7 nights.
I was counting. Yeah.
Was that for a reason, or?
Just one of those things when you get off home. You get home, you get off tour, you kind of want to dry out, you know. You don't realize that you're having a glass of wine every night or whatever, and you get home, you're like, well, I was on tour for 42 days. You dry out, you know. And when you do, it's just not like things get more clear, you know what I mean? So that's where the song comes from, wanting to get back on tour.
So that's what the song's about, wanting to go back on tour and not have to...
Well, like, just missing it, you know, missing the road. I miss the road, man, when I'm at home. So.
Do you enjoy your time off at home, or...?
I do, for a certain amount of time, but there's a cross to bear right now with this band. I mean, we're not going to waste any time. You know, we came up on April and May, we were going to have some time off, and instead of going home and taking time away from each other, we're going to go in and do a record. So we like to constantly work. I like to constantly work. I can't just sit home for a couple weeks on the couch. It just doesn't make sense. I'll start fixing stuff around the house. It doesn't need fixing.
Well, Devildriver is probably one of the best bands in that regard. Every 2 years, you guys have a new record out.
Yeah. We try to hit the 2-year mark with it. I mean, when I was quite a bit younger, I mean, you got records every year from your favorite artists. So a lot of bands will make you wait 3 or 4 years. We're going to not try to do that. We're going to try to put out records every 2 years. In order to do that, you got to take advantage of your time in the studio. When you're off, get right in and record and get it out. We're looking for probably a February release, 2011, and that'll be right about the 22-month, 23-month mark.
Do you write on the road?
Yeah, we're writing on the road. They're backstage writing. I'm writing. I wrote this morning. We've already got 7 or 8 songs for the new record. So
nice.
we're quite proficient at that. It's not like we just come out here and it's party for 40 days.
Every time I try to escape, what is what it seems to be. Love is strong.
guys are listed for one of the Sonosphere shows with the Big Four with Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer.
Yeah.
You got to be pumped for that, right?
Totally. That and the High Times magazine was just like, what? In the same year? That's killer. If we have one show or we get more shows with them, whatever it is, just it's all good. We're on the same main stage as those incredible bands, and we've been doing a lot of hard work, and seeing that kind of stuff come through the pipeline is amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait for that show.
Which of the Big Four are you most excited to be sharing the stage?
Metallica, obviously.
Now, I was told that you're a great cook, especially when it comes to Italian food.
This is true. I'm Italian. I can cook.
Do you cook on the road, or?
Yeah, we do. We were cooking last night. We cook in the mornings. 12 dudes on a bus. You know, it's kind of easier to feed people that way. You know, we get crack 24 eggs and a bunch of bacon and make food. So.
Do you have a favorite recipe?
I do. If I'm at home, I mean, no one can touch my meatballs. So.
So it's the Italian.
Yeah, it's the Italian food. I mean, out here on the road, it's kind of hard to do that kind of stuff. You're limited to a grill or a crock pot, what you can do. But we try to get some home cooking in, you know. It's important, especially when you're gone the way we are. We're on 16 in a row right now out of 40 shows, and no one wants to eat fast food every day, you know, or chicken wings or stuff, you know. So you want to cook people a good meal.
It's really cool. You're a good guy to be touring with.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I know how to tour. That's what it is.
You've been on tour now with Behemoth and Goat Whore and some other guys. Do all the bands kind of hang out? Are you cooking for everyone on the tour?
No. Well, we don't have not that much food. We're trying to cook for just us, but we do all hang out. And we're on tour with Suffocation and Goat Whore, and Thy Will Be Done. Great guys. And we do join up with Behemoth 3 nights, and this is the last night we join up with them. We did 6 weeks with them in Europe. Great guys. Really great band. Hard-working band. Really hard-working band.
Every sorrow wears its source, and your conscience isn't free. In the dark of days of summer, and the last soul was a death one. God was made for you. Coming out like Rabbi's keeper, on this what it seems to be. On this lonely life, I'll need to remember.
I understand your son gets featured on the Devildriver records from time to time.
On the Last Kind Words, it was the kind of thing where I picked him up from school. He came by the studio. He's a huge metal fan. He's 12. His name is Simon. So we put him up on the mic, and he's got a pretty good growl on him. You know, he's a drummer right now, so we'll see how that goes. I think I'm going to buy him a kit when I get home.
Did you ever see you taking your son's band out on tour with you guys?
You know, I would love him to go into another lifestyle, but if that calls him, I'll be supportive. You know, like I am now, and you know, send him to drum lessons. And, like I said, buy him a kit when I get home. But you know, I prefer him to stay out of this lifestyle. It's a hard lifestyle. You know, it's a hard road. I'm gone constantly, so and they know that. But if it calls them, so be it.